Hey, party people. Do you remember those choose your own adventure books? They were some of my favorites growing up. And today we're going to play a little game like that. What you may not know is that many Mondays, most Mondays, because I tend to be a procrastinator, I am producing the Tuesday episode for the podcast. This episode is coming out on Tuesday, and it is Tuesday morning. I took yesterday off to celebrate Barbara Day. Barbara Day is the holiday I created after my mother passed away when I was 17. So it's been 20 something plus years, but every year on her birthday, I turn that into a holiday. And I decided rather than to work, I would take the day to celebrate her, to pour into my own cup, and to really take that time. And I really, on so many episodes of the show, I try to talk to you guys about like consistency is really important, but also balance and also building a business that can let you do something like this. So I did not produce a longer episode for you today. Instead, we're going to play a game of choose your own adventure. And this is going to let me practice what I preach, still add value to you, run a tiny experiment because I've never done an episode like this in 80 plus episodes. When I say choose your own adventure, I'm going to recommend 3 episodes to you today. I'll put the links in the show notes for them, but based on how you're feeling, you get to choose what you want to listen to today. So these are all episodes that have come out more than 2 months ago, some last year. So you may have missed them or you may need the reminder. But basically, I'm going to walk you through on how you're feeling. You can choose your own episode today. So I hope you love it. All right. Now, I did say I practice what I preach. And what I mean by that is I am big on being a better boss to myself. Having your own business and calling all the shots, it can be really easy to not be a very good boss to yourself or go the other way and organize your business to be so much about you that you aren't available for clients. We don't want to do that either. So I have an episode 32, how to be a better boss to yourself without losing business. It is all about the better boss method. So if you have been curious to run a successful business that has great clients, but also allows you to take a day for yourself or build some better energy, that is a great place to start today. Episode 32, how to be a better boss to yourself without losing business. As we are heading into the fall, I know many of us are, in back to school season and we're going out to networking. And it's that age old question, what the heck am I saying in my elevator pitch? Well, I have got you covered with episode 9, elevator pitches that get clients. Clarify your message with my brand chips formula. If you've ever heard me talk about my brand chips formula, this is the foundation of so many things, including how you talk clearly about what you do. So if you're new to the show or you want a refresher, or man, you really need to polish up that elevator pitch, head on over to episode 9. And last but not least, as we come toward the end of the year and we're starting to think about the holidays and the busyness of the fall, if you have been thinking that maybe January, February is going to be your time to leave corporate, to step out of your job, and finally start coaching or consulting, have I got a great episode for you. It comes literally with a free checklist, but it's called Episode 71, Corporate to Clients, the branding you actually need to start consulting or coaching. So that's a great one if you're thinking that maybe next year is going to be your year to finally start that coaching or consulting practice. I've got you covered with an entire episode that will quickly break down for you the exact branding and marketing pieces you need when you're first getting started and what can wait to, 6 months, a year, or even 2 years after you get started. I find that branding question of, oh my gosh, like how big a website do I need? And do I need a funnel? And do I need all these things? Most people don't need that. They just need to be able to go talk about what they do at coffee next week, especially when they're starting to figure out what that even is. So it comes with a free checklist to break down the branding essentials you actually need and what you can skip for now. So there you go. 3 great episodes to choose from. If you want to have a wild time, you can listen to all 3, but check them out. So it's episode 32. If you want to be a better boss to yourself without losing momentum, clients, or revenue, if you are working on your elevator pitch and you want to feel really good about the networking events you're going to this fall, check out episode 9. And last but not least, if it might be time to really think about going out on your own, don't miss episode 71. All right, I'll make sure all the links are here wherever you are listening to the show. If you want new episodes of the show, remember you can always head over to greateststorycreative.com/ Podlinks, Podlinks. I'll put a link to that as well, but there's a bar right there where you can put your email in. And every single time I come up with a new episode or a choose your own adventure, you will get a value packed email from me. And hey, let me know what you thought of this episode. This was kind of an original idea I had because I wanted to show up for you today. Consistency is important, but I needed to make that space to celebrate my mom and be a whole person in my business because I really trust that if I am not just a robot who can perfectly do positioning, but really a real person, that's the kind of business I want to run. That's how I want to show up for you. That's how I want to show up for my clients. And it's one thing to say that, and it's another to do it. So there's no perfect episode today, but there is some value to be had. And I hope at minimum it got you inspired to think about how can you show up for people, including yourself.